say they constructed. So this is idols made of stone, right?
They idol made of stone.
Okay.
If
So
you
so what kind of energy you get from stone?
Basically, let's assume what kind of energy. See, let's assume a cell phone tower.
Okay.
It's a technical equipment
Yeah.
put in a certain way to emit certain kind of energy. That's
Yeah.
it, right?
It's
That's
not
what
the
it
God
is.
who gives the power. It's
But
Satan who gives
right.
the power to the stone. And you maybe believe
No, no,
on
but
it.
a cell phone tower has been constructed
Am I wrong on it?
to emit that energy,
Emit that
but the
energy.
stone
You wish
is
come
not
true and you
built for
believe
that
unto
purpose.
No, you're not using same.
how you
You
divide it
see,
from the God.
you have to use that day. Cell phone tower is today.
Yeah.
I'm using an analogy. You cannot take it literally.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to understand is that, to me, a stone is an object which is not sentient, so it doesn't harm or benefit anyone. It is just a stone at the end of the day.
But the point what I'm making here is that
Yeah.
fundamentally, the reason I told making a point on the deities, I'm not making the point on a god. Hinduism fundamentally.
So are you saying the deities are not gods?
deities are not gods?
So why do they call them
Because
devas?
of the
They call them devas.
no.
Dev means God, right?
Okay.
So devas means plural of God.
Basically, devas. See, this I'm not qualified enough to talk about it,
Yeah, I think
but
so.
I can tell one point very well.
This way so the camera can see.
I can make.
What's your name, by the way?
I'm Raj.
Raj, I'm Hashim. Nice meeting you.
I can make one point. There is no God as per the singular universal, the creator God. They have they have Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma. They call
The
it
Trimurti.
Trimurti. But it is conceptual. It is to explain a concept in that way, not to be in a absolute literal terms. Okay, they don't tell that Brahma, they came and created the universe.
So Brahma is the creator,
creator.
Vishnu is the sustainer, and Shiva is the destroyer.
These are
Yeah.
concepts. These are concepts.
Also, they're not literally God.
They are not literally God. Okay, these are concepts.
Okay.
That's why I'm telling you, you cannot take the Hindu religion,
Literally.
gods, in the Abrahamic religion.
Yeah, they're not
gods,
same.
They are not same.
So we can't compare the Hindu.
And here is the beauty of and again, I'm an atheist, and
Are you?
I am an atheist.
So you can be a Hindu.
I can be a Hindu.
Wow.
I can be an atheist, and that my religion gives the freedom. You know what? Because I have the free. And by the way, if you go to Hinduism,
So
you study.
no, that's interesting. I want to know, as an atheist, who do you think is Krishna?
Which one?
Krishna
As-
or Vishnu? Or Vishnu? According to you, who are these devas or deities?
These, according
For
to,
for an atheist, who are they?
Religion or which
Okay.
one I fit in, which one
For
I fit
an
in.
atheist,
Which one can be the best for
I
me.
can see this in two ways.
Or rather, an atheist Hindu, who are they?
I can see them as two ways.
Yeah.
This is a story from history. We call what is called mythology is any history which we cannot prove it archaeologically,
Yeah.
scientifically.
It's a myth.
No, anything that cannot be proved
Yeah.
scientifically.
A myth cannot be proven.
But once it's proven, it becomes a fact.
Yeah.
Once it's proven,
So until then, it remains a myth.
until it remains a myth. So these could be a story of a person. It could be a concept, whatever it is.
Okay.
But
So it could be a real person.
which one?
It could. There is a possibility that there was an actual Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, real persons.
see,
Or are these systems? What are
No.
they?
See, here is another thing with Hinduism, which
Okay.
people understand. The problem is that what Hinduism, because of by nature, it is very open. Lot of these things, ideas from the different religion, right? All these were accommodated into the fabric. So you will have a lot of these stories in that.
Sorry, brother. Just a bit there. Okay, thank you.
There is a
I
lot
can
of
barely hear you.
stories, fabric stitched together, so you will have this multiple story, layer upon lower story. And here is and the flaw with that. I will tell you the flaw with understanding that.
Sorry, flaw with what?
The flaw with the flaw or challenge, not
Yeah.
a flaw.
Okay.
Challenge with that is there is no single truth. The challenge with that is there is no single truth that absolutely it gives, like the other religion it gives. But that is the value of it, because you know what? It doesn't claim the false claim that it knows the single truth.
Sorry, who knows
The ones which tell they know it, they know the God.
So they're wrong.
They don't know.
Okay.
They don't
So,
know. They are probably
you know,
wrong.
you probably are offending a lot of Hindus, and I wouldn't want to do that.
So be it. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I know you're fine, but they are not. By you offending the
I don't
gods.
care. This is my idea.
Okay.
I live in a democracy.
Right.
This is what I believe in. If they are being offended, so
Because
be it.
if a Hindu wakes up in the morning and they pray to Krishna or Shiva or whatever tradition of Hinduism they follow, and then you come along, Mr. Hindu, as an atheist, that all that is rubbish.
No, I didn't say that. You are saying that. You are putting words in my mouth.
Okay, when I say
that.
rubbish means they don't exist.
No. I don't.
They could be.
No.
They don't
See,
exist.
These are. They don't exist according to me.
Yeah, of course, according to you.
Right?
That's why I said according to
to
you.
me, Allah doesn't exist too.
I know you're an atheist.
No, I'm atheist.
I know.
So, according to me, Jesus.
But
doesn't
then you're
exist.
saying you're also a Hindu.
I mean, they exist. They existed. Sorry, that's not true.
Okay.
I will take my words back.
That's better.
They probably existed.
Okay.
They probably, the books are right. What they wrote is also right. They are probably leaders or great wise men to be respected of that time. Absolutely no question, because somebody doesn't become what they are and so beloved by their people without doing something good. So
I'm glad you changed your tune
no.
there.
That much I respect.
Okay.
But to give them the stature of telling they are the creator God, I won't buy that.
What about-
that is a cuckoo story.
Okay, what about, don't call it cuckoo story. Let's
No,
respect.
according to me.
Okay, let's
According
respect.
to me.
Look, I'm a Muslim, and I know that the Hindus is a different religion, but I will still respect what they believe
I
in,
respect
in,
them.
in the sense that I will not mock it.
No.
Like the way calling it cuckoo.
I'm not mocking. Oh,
Okay?
Sorry. Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
Like imagine you respect your mom and dad. If
sorry.
somebody says something bad to
Fair
them,
enough, fair
you feel
enough.
offended.
Fair enough, fair
For them,
enough,
it's
fair
more than parents, it's their God.
Understood.
Okay?
Fair enough.
That's what the
fair
Quran teaches us.
Understood.
Not
Fair
to
enough.
mock, because then they'll.
No,
mock
you're
in
right.
return.
You're right. In that case, we are breaking the discourse.
Fair enough. Okay. So
which I
let's bring the
appreciate.
energies a bit down and let's talk rationally rather than with emotions. You say you're an atheist, yeah? What about the concept of Brahman? You heard of that? This sits above the Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So it's like the universal soul. What is your understanding or I don't know, what is your take on that?
The only take I take in that,
Yeah.
that is actually close to the cosmic, whatever it can, and that, if you tell, is
They
the
call it the Paramatma or the universal soul.
whichever religion calls that, I am with that, because
No,
that
that's the
is
Hinduism belief.
That is an unknown.
Yeah.
That is a supreme unknown.
Yeah,
Nobody
they
can.
want you to come here, so
That is
you're
a
facing the camera.
That is a supreme unknown.
Yeah.
None of us can understand it. None of us can grasp it, and which is what is the reality even today. Because we don't know what we don't know, right? We know what we know. There are a lot more we don't know, and that I am willing to accept.
You're willing to accept the Brahman, the concept of Brahman, which is the universal soul, which is formless, shapeless. I think someone even told me that it's without an attribute. But I find that hard to
you
believe.
call it the universal unknown. Let's call it that. I am okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, good.
The universal unknown.
But it is an entity that exists,
I
right?
don't know.
Okay, then you cannot call it universal unknown. Because to me, if something is universal, then it cannot be completely unknown. I know there are certain aspects of.
Why you say that?
Yeah, because how can it be universal? It's like saying a squared circle.
In a not
It's a
from
contradiction in
from
terms.
not from a people point of view. It is a universal unknown. See, like for example, what is outside our solar system? What is outside our galaxy? Right? We don't know.
You mean outside the universe?
Or even our galaxy for that matter. We know some of it. We don't know many of it.
No,
right?
we know from using powerful telescopes like the
Right.
Hubble telescope,
Right, but,
and they can see
whether there
quite.
is life there or not, we don't know.
Okay,
right?
that's a different thing.
Right, but what I'm saying is there is a lot we don't know.
Of course, there is. In fact, there's a lot on this earth we don't know. We haven't explored all of the oceans. Okay, all of the underground. Okay, so forget about the cosmos. We don't know about our own earth.
So that is exactly where I come from, because trying to put some firmness, which I don't have against anything, but trying to put this is what is absolute is, when the fact is we don't know, is I have a problem with that.
So from what you have told me, I think you believe in something which is a naturalistic world. Okay, so something that is observable, something that is basically science, isn't it? The natural science. So the naturalistic science believes something that is in empirical evidence. So
No,
observable
brother, put it, brother, different
experiment
way. I'll
that can be
tell you different
experimented
way.
so on.
See, I think we learn a lot more. We are curious and pay attention when we accept. Like, for example, if I make an assumption of you as a brother, I am not going to willing to learn you. I'm not willing to interact with you. I need to be open-minded completely. So I need to accept the fact I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I think we need to have that mindset in everything in the universe. Should not accept the absolutes unless it is absolute enough for us to accept it as
Yeah,
an
but
absolute.
that's what I'm asking you. What is your criteria for you to be certain something exists as a factual thing?
Well, we can obviously, we all can see it, understand it.
Exactly. So that's what I told you. Empirical evidence.
Yes.
That's what you're looking for. As an atheist, you believe in something
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
observable,
Fair enough,
which
fair
is we can experiment
fair
on, for
enough,
example,
fair enough.
and that is what naturalistic science also believes in. Okay, but you're forgetting one thing. For us, by the way, I'm a Muslim, and I believe that also other religions, including Hinduism, we believe that the world and the universe is not just the physical existence. We also believe in the metaphysical. Okay, I'll give an example. You believe in consciousness?
You know what? If I say I believe in that, I need to lie because I've tried to understand it. I have not understood it.
Okay. What is your definition of consciousness?
I've read enough, buddy. I cannot answer that question because I know enough where, see, I'm a kind of person, if I don't understand something absolutely well, I'm not willing to accept that I know it.
Okay. So there is a philosopher with the name of Descartes, and he says, "I think, therefore I am."
You're right.
Okay. So if you're able to think, and you can think about your environment, yes, you can observe your environment and interact with it. That means you're conscious of your environment.
Fair enough.
In a nutshell, that's
Yes,
what it
you're
is.
correct.
Okay. Do you experience that?
Of course.
Good. So you are conscious.
Yes, of course.
Okay. You're not like a rock which is
I am
non-sentient.
conscious. I don't have a problem with being conscious because the consciousness is used in a very broad by many. You see
No,
what
but
I'm-
in a nutshell, everyone will agree with this definition.
Okay, this conscious, okay.
So it's basically you being aware of your environment.
Environment.
That's in simple terms. That's
Yeah.
what consciousness is. So even a scientist who believes only in experimentation and observation and by empirical evidence, even they will not deny their consciousness. Because first and foremost, in order to observe and to experiment, you have to be conscious.
Conscious, of
You can't just say I'm not aware of any of these things, but then I'm going to do experiments and observe things. So the first principle that they have to acknowledge is that they are conscious. Now, if I ask the same scientist or yourself, do you have any evidence, any empirical evidence, using your own principle? Do you have any empirical that you are conscious? Because right now you told me your subjective understanding of what consciousness is. You feel it, you experience it. But if you wanted to prove objectively to another individual that you are conscious with empirical evidence, then you will fail to do so. You have to believe by faith, even as an atheist, even as a scientist who doesn't believe in God. You have no option but to believe that you have consciousness, which in fact is metaphysical. That's why you can't observe it
See,
empirically.
I will take you this point.
Yeah, go on.
We need to believe because we cannot go by facts everything. Right?
Absolutely.
You're right.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Belief is a fundamental for survival. Forget for survival we need to think the water is good. We need to think my mother is my mother.
Absolutely.
Right? There are a lot of
Or
things
your
we have-
father,
my
or your
father,
doctor.
Everybody, right? Belief is good, but I choose when I need to take. But I don't need to believe everything.
No, you don't have to.
Right?
You don't have to.
I will believe
that which doesn't have contradiction. Okay, it's easier to believe. But that which does have contradiction, then it becomes difficult. Okay. Now, the reason we were talking about metaphysical and physical earlier is to show you that as a person who believes in only seeing and observing things and in experimentation and all these things, I think you're not someone who says that is the only way you can believe, because there's something called testimonies, like the way your mom or your dad told you that they're your mom or dad without you having any other evidence, just based on their statement. That is called testimony because you trust them. Similarly, when you go visit a doctor, so NHS here, we have the National Health Service. Trust me, no one in the right mind will go to a doctor and before they start treating them or give them any prescription, they're saying, please show me your certificate. Why? Because you trust the National Health Service that they will only employ
Yep.
qualified people.
Yep.
Obviously, there are exceptions, but that doesn't make the rule. So what I'm saying is that we as human beings, and you pointed out correctly, we cannot survive. Just if you're going to ask for evidence for every single thing in your life, then life becomes very
But
difficult
when
and
we
hard.
need to see that is true,
Yeah.
we believe in things which is essential for our survival and well-being.
Sorry, just take some water.
Right. But when something is not so essential, well, when something promotes our well-being, we believe in that. But we don't need to extend that to everything, right? So when there is a need for me to question something, right? When something doesn't make sense, right? Why should I believe it? I'll question it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
That's the reason I said
so-
something which is
so there
doesn't
is-
have internal
it's
contradictions.
like this, right? If I believe for me yellow color is very good or white color is very good,
Yeah.
but he believes wearing black is good. But if my belief comes, anybody wearing black color is a bad person and I need to harm them, then there is a problem for me to examine my view, my belief on black color.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
it's
make
incoherent,
sense.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so using that principle of making sense and not making sense, okay? There are many people who say, if they don't have an answer, they say, I don't know. But then that is also problematic. You know why? Because there are certain things which you cannot deny. For example, your existence, the existence of this earth, the existence of this universe, you cannot deny. Okay? You also cannot deny that these things have a cause, that they came into existence from somewhere or something.
Okay.
They didn't come into existence by themselves, nor did they create themselves.
When you're talking about the universe and the world,
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you know as an atheist in your naturalistic world. Yes? So everything that you see around you had a cause, including the galaxies and the universe which you talked about.
There is a lot of, certain things work. We need to hang on to something, right? I think when we did not have the scientific system, the observation system, everything, we need the society, the culture, the religion is kind of a sweater we wear when the cold weather is there, right?
Yeah.
I think we need, because it's a fabric to protect us. It's for the well-being of the human being. But it was at that time, in that context, when we have a better view, when we have a better system to look at things, we should be willing to change and we should be willing to move on.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong in that. So as a Muslim, I have no problem accepting science, which deals with the naturalistic world, which explains to us how things happen. But you see, science has limits as well.
Of course.
Okay?
And it
And-
accepts that it has limits. That
Of
is
course,
the beauty
no,
of it.
I never said it doesn't accept that. However, when science stops at a certain point, it cannot operate beyond that point. Okay? So without time and space, science cannot operate because it needs that for its calculations, for its experimentations, for its observations. You need this. Without that, you cannot. So anyone trying to use science as a tool to find out about things which are metaphysical, which are beyond the scope of science, I think that is being
See, here is the
not
one-
true to what science is
I will
capable
leave
of.
this with this one parting thought.
Yeah, go on.
See, the physicist, let's take the physicist
Yeah.
or a mathematician, right? You take the laws of certain standard laws of mathematics or physics.
Yeah.
You go to people, the mathematician in any country, in any religion, in any culture, they won't dispute that because they have all agreed on that same and they know it's that.
What are you talking about? Agreed on what?
Like for example, if you take Earth is round, right?
Yeah.
From a commonsensical point of view.
No, with observation.
With
Of
observation,
course.
right?
But that's what I'm telling you.
But
So
the-
naturalistic
here
world.
is the world where I have a problem with.
Yeah,
Why
go on.
it's not a universal science?
Sorry, what is not a universal science? Observation?
The religion is not as universal as a science.
No, before we go to religion, I want to understand from your worldview, For example, if I were to ask you this question, yes?
But do you no one point? Let me finish that.
Okay, go on.
Do you agree the fact that the religious gurus of all the world,
Yeah.
the fact that they all cannot agree who is one God is fundamentally something wrong there?
No, look, there are, for example,
No, no, you need to accept this.
No, I don't need to, because what you're talking about, you're now generalizing. Okay, not every religion believes in multiple gods,
No, but
or not every religion
No,
believes
sir.
in one
No,
God.
I'm not saying that. I'm not
Okay,
saying
what are
that.
you saying
I
then?
am saying, let's take multiple religions in the world,
Yeah.
right? There is more than 3, right? Probably 5. All these leaders cannot agree one God. That much you agree? They
Major,
cannot agree
yeah,
on-
major religions. If they believed in the same God, it will be the same
Major,
religion.
minor, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
They cannot agree
No, you
on
said
the
5.
same
That's
God.
why I said major.
Oh, right? They cannot
Yeah,
agree on the same God.
Yeah,
Correct?
that's why there are different religions.
So
What's the problem?
there is the conundrum, because if it
What is the problem with that?
The problem is the fact that either there is no God or there is no one God.
No, I think you're jumping the gun here. You know, the scientists. The scientists have several models for the Big Bang. Do you know? For the origin of the universe. They don't all agree, but then there are majority of people amongst the scientists who agree with the Big Bang model.
Correct,
Okay.
agreed.
So it happens in science as well.
Yes,
There's
yes,
disagreement.
yes.
It's
Yes,
not just
yes,
religion.
yes.
So let's be fair.
No, you're right,
Every
you're right.
system, every
Yes.
system out there, there's going to be agreement and disagreement within that.
Oh, yes.
So, for example, within Christianity or within Islam or within Judaism, you will find.
But you need to understand that
No,
is
no,
a
wait, wait.
theory.
Let
In
me-
science, there is theory and there is
Yeah,
fact.
let me finish the point. So in these 3 religions, which are the major Abrahamic faith, yes, there will be internal, disagreements. So amongst the Muslims, or amongst the Christians, or among the Jews, there will be different sects within that. Okay, the subsects, just like in Hinduism as well. Okay, so even those people who say they follow Vishnu, yes, there will be disagreements within the same tradition of Hinduism as well. And the same thing goes with science. I'll tell you why. Because with the same observation, different scientists will conclude different things. Okay? That is when it becomes, for them, it is a hypothesis. So
Correct.
before it becomes a theory, it has to be an observation from their perspective, from their subjective understanding. Then they say, okay, now let's do a peer review. And then if they agree, it becomes a theory.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
in science, there is theory and there is a fact. Right? Right? You're right.
Same thing in religion.
Yeah. Which one? But not all religions have a fact. Where is it all?
Okay, what is your
religions having a
definition
common
of fact?
Which one?
What's your definition of fact?
Which is absolutely agreed across the board by
Okay, I'll
everybody.
give you one fact.
Yeah.
Every human being sins, which means they disobey. I'm telling you, it's something whether you agree or disagree. Sins in the sense that they disobey either whatever they believe or perceive to be their God, they disobey them. Now this is a fact. No one can say they are sinless.
Which one?
Even you cannot, even as an atheist, you cannot say you do not commit anything which is wrong. Have you lied in your life?
No, wrong is different, sin is different.
It's just label, my friend. It's just label. Stealing is same whether you call it
it's
with a
wrong,
different
right.
name. Lying is different. The same whether you call it a different name. Murder is the same thing whether you call it a different name. So every human being makes mistakes or sins or does crime, whatever you want to call it, whatever label you want to put. Now there are factual things which religion and scientists and people, even atheists and people who believe in God, they will agree with. Like everyone believes rape is wrong, right? Yeah? So that is something, regardless of your faith or lack of faith, you will come to the same understanding that it's fact that rape is wrong.
Right.
See what I mean? Okay. Going back to the cause and effect, this is a scientific methodology as well. Okay? That everything that begins to exist has a cause. Okay? You and I began to exist at one point. Okay? Our cause, our parents, yes? And their cause, their parents, and so on. Yes? Same thing with our galaxies and stars and so on. They had a cause as well. Yes? In fact, the entire universe, according to the scientists, they say it is something like 13.8 billion years old, which means that there was a point in time when it began to exist. Yes, which they call the infinity. Sorry, the singularity. Okay. So the question to you, as a person who believes only in empirical evidences, yes, I don't know if so far if you agree with me that you believe in the metaphysical, but you certainly believe in the physical world. Now the question to you is, where did the universe come from? So one answer is I don't know, which everyone gives, which is fair. You can give that answer, but I'm sure you must have thought about it.
Yeah, see, the point is, here is the biggest fundamental problem with the religious people and the non-religious people.
Yeah.
The non-religious people, we are totally fine, and actually we are very happy. We are very happy to not know answers, not assume things for that we don't know, because we accepting the fact that we don't know, we accepting the reality.
But that's not a
that-
fact. That's your.
No, we accepting that we don't know.
That's your
Makes
opinion.
us more curious, willing to learn, open-minded.
No problem.
Whereas, right?
The religious people won't have an issue with anything you said.
Right.
Trust me, they won't.
No,
Because if they don't know, they'll say, I don't know. They are willing to learn. They are willing to understand. They're willing to even experiment. You know, some of the earliest Muslims, yes, they did a lot of research and experiments, yes, and they discovered a lot of things. So if you go to this website called 1001 in number 1001 inventions.com, you'll see that over there. So people like Khawarizmi and people like Biruni and all that, they had a lot of, but they had faith in God as well. They did a lot of research, a lot of experiments, a lot of discoveries. Same thing with Aryabhata in amongst the Hindus and amongst the Christians. They had saints, for example, who actually discovered a lot of things in biology and so on. Yes, amongst botany.
See, I think, I'm, by the way, I'm visiting this country. It's amazing the fact that there is a platform like this having a discourse.
Yeah, this is unique only in this country.
It's amazing.
It's called Speaker's Corner.
The fact is, we all come from different culture, different religion,
Different walks of life,
value.
yeah.
But we can in a civil way
Have a discussion. Absolutely.
and you can with a politely and with respect to each other disagree and still walk
Yeah, of
away.
course.
That's an amazing thing. That's
Communication is key.
Right.
In order for us to understand each other, like I was just telling my friend earlier, that in India, there are so many Hindus and so many Muslims. In fact, many people don't know this, but India has the third largest Muslim population after Indonesia and Pakistan. I don't know if you were aware of that.
actually second largest. India is
Yeah, I think that is also debatable. Yes, so some people say it has overtaken Pakistan as well.
yeah.
Yes, and look, I wouldn't be surprised.
Doesn't matter.
It
Second
has,
or third, yeah.
It has a huge population.
Yes.
But then these Muslims who live literally next door to many Hindus don't know about Hinduism. And same thing with the Hindus. Many of these Hindus who live literally next door to their Muslim neighbors don't know about the Muslims. So what happens when there's no communication, when there's no understanding, you have chaos. Yes, you have people oppressing each other. People, because of the misunderstanding and their unwillingness to sit down and to communicate in a civilized manner. Yes, unfortunately, there's a breakdown in society. Yes, and this is something as a civilized, cultured nation you don't want.
Yeah, you want to see what you don't know, you fear.
Absolutely,
The moment
yeah.
you talk
Yeah.
and get to know, you doesn't need to be that, but at least get to know and say in the end
Yeah.
they are a human being.
True.
They are a father, mother, brother, children.
Human beings,
They
yeah.
have the same values, right? They just have a different style, different belief system. You may not agree with that, doesn't matter, but willing to work with that. And of course, you believe in something. If you have let's assume you invested very well.
Yeah.
You think you have an idea, you are going to teach that to your neighbors and friends. And take that as, so when you are trying to do, I don't take it personally as you are trying to convert me or anything like that.
Yeah.
Either from a belief, I take it, you are in the best interest of me. Hey, this is doing very well for me.
Yeah.
So I am willing to share that knowledge to you.
Absolutely.
That is the way I
Yeah.
see it.
Look, as a Muslim, no one is saying that we want to convert all Hindus just because we talk to them. So sharing information gets us to know each other. Yes? If you are in sync with the understanding of a Muslim and you want to become a Muslim, well and good. If you don't want to, well and good as well. No one is going to impose. If you start imposing things, then that is something prohibited in Islam. We do not force someone, and if any Muslim does that,
Well,
then they are not really following
That
the.
is where I think I have a problem,
Yeah.
because the text in the olden says, if somebody doesn't believe in Allah, then they are an infidel, and you have to you are above okay to kill them.
No,
that
that's-
I have a problem with.
I don't think you have read that in the Quran. You read it somewhere else.
So I say probably, but that has to be there. You are telling it.
You
is
know what
not
the Quran says in
Yeah.
chapter 532? It says if you take one life unjustly, yes,
A
it is as if
non-Muslim life or
anyone.
Uh-huh.
Anyone. If you kill a person unjustly, without any justice, without any reason of being in a just manner, then you have taken the life of all of mankind.
So
And hear me out. And if you save the life of one person, and like I said, doesn't have to be a Muslim, can be a non-Muslim as well. Yes, it is as if you have again saved the life of all of mankind.
Okay.
So killing without justification is wrong. And even if
What
there
is the justification?
Okay, even if there is a justification, for example, murder. Yes? So in Islam, we believe in capital punishment. Okay, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That kind of thing from the same thing in the Torah. They believe the same thing. So what I'm saying is that it doesn't mean that there is some vigilante where you actually, as a mob, kill someone or lynch someone, as we have seen in the case of many Muslims being killed by Hindus in India in recent history, unfortunately.
But before that, Muslims came and assassinated millions.
if they did that-
they destroyed our temples and put a mask over it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know all that story,
Hear me-
right?
hear me out.
And 300 years they came, raped the women, and that is all okay.
Hear me out.
Uh-huh.
No, did I say it's okay?
No, okay, tell me what
please
is it.
don't put words
Tell
in my
me
mouth.
what is it
Okay,
then.
now you're getting agitated.
me what
Let's
is
calm
it.
down.
Uh-huh.
Let's calm down.
Okay.
Okay. If anyone did that and called themselves Muslims and they kill without justice, then they will be punished by Allah.
So all the people, you look at the camera and tell,
Yeah.
who came to the country, Mohols who came,
Yeah.
destroyed the people, took our land, took our women, took our temple property.
Yeah.
They are all bad against Allah. They did bad against Allah. Can you look at that camera and tell?
I will look at the camera and say, not only the Mughals, in fact, any Muslim leader, anywhere in the world, if they commit atrocities and they oppress people, then that is not the teaching of Islam.
Very good.
Okay?
I like that. I'm fair enough.
Okay.
I take that.
Now, would you condemn the Hindus who killed the Muslims?
Absolutely.
Look at the camera and say it.
Forget Hindu.
You see, I didn't hesitate.
No, I will tell you. Hindu, Muslim or Christian, anybody.
There you go.
Like they invaded any other country.
No, not country. Within their own country, if they kill.
Within their own country.
And they lynch
are
for,
invaded.
just because they doubted somebody has beef in the fridge, they lynch them.
Well,
Would you condemn that?
I will condemn that.
Good.
I will condemn that.
Then we are on the same level.
But that is one thing an individual, some cuckoo head doing it,
Yeah.
and systemically an army moving and destroying in millions.
You know,
that happened in the
look,
history.
look, I've already condemned it.
When that happened,
Now you're going to keep repeating it, won't make a difference. I've already condemned it, have I not? Yes, I did not hesitate and I did not make any
but
excuses.
Daddy, the thing is, you need to understand,
Yeah.
when that happens, when people come to know that, they are not everybody is going to be like